So I feel like I've hardly vlogged at all in the last couple of days. Hi, it's future Siobhan. I'm back. In fact, I'm even more in the future now than I was before. And this is just me saying, yes, you've said this repeatedly throughout the vlog, Siobhan, that you don't think you've filmed enough, but actually you filmed so much you had to make this into 2 vlogs. So this is a lesson going forward. Welcome to part 2, by the way. Hi, thanks for joining us. I do talk about Black Lives Matter in this vlog, as this happened around the time that George Floyd was murdered. Please check out some more links and some more information below. Oh, and there's a cute bit later on in this vlog with a dog that you really want to stay tuned for. In fact, you can skip this whole vlog and just go to the bit with the dog if you want, because it's so cute. I'm about 25% through the 7 Deaths of Evelyn Hardcastle. I'm really enjoying it. I'm listening to a mixture of the audiobook and reading the ebook because I haven't got a physical copy. I do want to get a physical copy because I think I would enjoy reading it more that way. The audiobook, the narrator for it is a little bit dramatic in the way that he reads it, which is not the most enjoyable for me to listen to. Sometimes I want the narrator to kind of step back from performing as much and just deliver the words almost in a more neutral way so that I can interpret, which is something I hadn't really noticed before. But really excellent audiobooks, I think, leave just enough room for you to decide for yourself how urgent or exciting something is, rather than have somebody perform excitement and urgency. I'm not enjoying the audiobook as much as I'm enjoying reading it. I think it has some really interesting writing. It's not quite what I expected. So the premise of Evelyn Hardcastle, I don't know if I've said this already in this vlog. If I have, I might skip over this bit. You, in fact, have not. You amateur. But the premise of it is a kind of Groundhog Day murder mystery.
Yeah! 2 weeks, come here, Groundhog!
What the hell?
Where the main character keeps going to sleep and waking up the next day in the body of a different person. In this, manner during this murder mystery day. So he wakes up in the body of several different people, and there are certain rules around that. And there's somebody kind of pulling the strings in this situation to make it happen. Unlike Groundhog Day, where it's just not explained why this happens, and he just has to figure out how to get out on his own.
Didn't we do this yesterday?
I don't know what you mean.
Don't mess with me, pork chop.
The main character in this kind of has a guide who helps him and has other forces which can help him. And I'm not sure if I enjoy that as much, having a bit of lore around this concept, having there be this kind of dark force behind it. There's certain elements that feel more like horror, which I think, looking at the author's other works, is probably where he's coming from. So there's more kind of horror elements which I'm not generally a fan of in books, but I'm quite enjoying it still. I'm not sure yet if he's going to really use the premise to the fullest extent that he could. It's a little bit slow to actually get to giving you clues about the mystery thus far, but I'm looking forward to getting more into the meat of this mystery. I'm finding that a slight side effect of having this channel is then suddenly there's like a time pressure or a deadline on me to read these books, which is kind of good and kind of was part of my intention because I wanted to achieve the goal of reading. My Goodreads goal is reading 50 books this year, which may not be very much compared to other people on YouTube, for example, who are reading 100 books plus. But for me, going from, I think, 6 or 7 books last year to trying to read 50 this year, it's a bit of a leap. I'm trying to keep up with my goals, but at the same time that's put a little bit of pressure on me to read quickly and to read a lot of short books as well, in order to tick off that thing of, oh, I've read another book, I'm still on track. So I don't know if that's going to be a positive or a negative side effect yet, but hopefully it'll be okay. I'm being called to dinner, I think, so I'll update you later. I'm sorry, my cat is playing with a mouse and distracting me. Look how cute he is. Can you be quiet for a minute? I just wanted to take a quick pause from talking about books to talking about how the world is just on fire at the moment. What is happening? Why can't we have compassion for our fellow human beings, ever? I'm feeling a lot of things. I'm feeling angry, mainly. I'm feeling bewildered. I'm feeling desperately sad. I am, of course, talking about the murder of George Floyd and how the American government are unjustly clamping down on protesters, the Black Lives Matter movement. I talked about before how injustice is something that makes me frustrated and angry in books. Well, it makes me frustrated and angry in real life too, obviously. I've been thinking about what I can do, and apart from donating, which I am going to be doing, and I am going to leave some links below to places where you can donate too. I have an incredibly small platform right now. It's probably just my family and friends watching this. Hi, thank you for watching. Thank you for sticking through this to the 3rd or 4th video I'm making now. I don't know when this will go up, but it's all I can think to do right now is to amplifying the voices of Black creators here on YouTube and also Black authors. Amplify the voices of people who need to be heard, who deserve to be heard. And that's the best thing I can think to do right now. Because I'm angry and I'm desperately sad, and I want to use this platform in whatever small way that I can to help. So, hello cat, how's it going? So, I just got a package through the mail. Oh, I'm not going to show my address. Parcel. I think it's a book. So I just filmed opening this package, and then it wasn't filming. My camera cut out, whatever. Okay, in that case, I'm just going to show you the book. It's Station 11 by Emily St. John Mandel. How beautiful is that? I don't know how I feel about reading about pandemics, viruses, that kind of thing right now, but maybe it'll be therapeutic. Maybe it'll be cathartic. I'm excited about this, actually. Despite that, I think I'm excited for the Shakespeare elements. It's a beautiful copy. I like a little paperback, a beautiful shiny paperback. I still have to finish The 7 Deaths of Evelyn Hardcastle, so this is going to give me incentive to do that, I think. Hi, cat. How you doing? Do you like the look of my new book? What do you think? Very interesting, huh? Oh, very interesting. Yes, read some pandemic literature. So I may not have vlogged at all yesterday. Yay, well done for my first ever vlog. Why didn't I vlog? I had a really good day and a really busy day. I did a lot of work. I ended up going to the shops. I ended up having a nice Zoom call with people in the evening. It was lovely. And I didn't vlog at all. I also didn't read very much. It occurs to me now I probably should have called this a not reading vlog because of the sheer lack of reading that I did during this whole period. I can only apologise for my past self. I listened to a bit of Evelyn Hardcastle. This week feels strange. It feels like another escalation in the dumpster fire that is 2020. And I wanted to pivot what I was reading. I don't want to be performative, and I don't want to be someone who's like, look at me, I'm being a good ally, aren't I great? I'm doing the bare minimum, but I decided to start reading White Fragility. I can't remember the name of the author, but here's the book cover. I'll put it somewhere here. It's really good, and it really dismantles and defines what racism is, why it still exists, and why we, as white people, need to be thinking about race and need to be examining our own prejudices. I think I realised that what I've chosen to read this month was based on what I had on my bookshelves that I've been meaning to read for a long time, and not necessarily on what I wanted to read immediately or what I was really going to be motivated to read. So I think I'm still going to keep some of the things on that list, but I think I'm going to switch up and read some more books that are going to widen my perspective and think about how I can help. Black booktubers who are talking about this situation, who are recommending books, who are calling out racism on booktube, and I really want to highlight them. So what I might do here is insert a list after this of people that you should go follow who are incredible. Okay, so I feel like this vlog has been very fragmented and a bit of a mess and a bit weird, and I hope it turns out okay and is interesting and is not just completely fragmented. But just to give you a little bit of an update, I finished White Fragility by DiAngelo. It's such a good book. It really concisely breaks down exactly the processes that go through a person's mind when somebody calls them out on something problematic that they've said, how we've got to learn to get past our defensiveness as white people and really own up when we make mistakes and really make reparations for that. And I think it's articulated in such a scientific, in such a demonstrable way, how we can be better allies. So I would really, really recommend that. If you were thinking about reading something to kind of broaden your horizons, if you are a white person, particularly if you've never experienced systematic racism, I would highly, highly recommend reading it. It is very centred on America in a lot of its examples, but a lot of it is still applicable. Most of it is still applicable, I would say. So definitely recommend reading that one. As I think I discussed in one of my earlier bits, I am going to pivot what I'm going to read. I am going to change my TBR plans. I think I've got a plan where I'm going to try and read 7 books in 7 days. And some of those are going to be ones that were on my TBR and some of those are not. They're going to be new selections, and I'm going to focus on black authors, black narratives. I'm going to try and find black British narratives as well, and black Welsh. So I'm really excited about that. That's going to be my next video then. This is a little bit later going up than I was hoping it to be. I was originally planning this to be a week-long vlog, but it's ended up being a few more days because it's taken me a while longer than I was expecting to finish some of the books. I'm still reading the 7 Deaths of Evelyn Hardcastle. I'm still listening to the audiobook. I'm mixed about it, and I think I'll give a more like in-depth review in my wrap-up video at the end of this month. Very mixed thoughts about it. I'll wait until I've finished. But I will say I had high hopes for the concept, and I'm not sure that he is really pulling off the idea of kind of like a Groundhog Day murder mystery type scenario. I don't think he milked that concept for all that it was worth. But I'll talk a bit more about that in my wrap-up video.
Hello.
He's got a name on the side.
Why? Has he got any
Hey, bud.
contact details on there? Yeah.
Sid.
I realised I forgot to mention how my actual day was going. I don't know if I've been very consistent in this blog at all. Probably not. I don't think I've been very consistent in talking about my real life as well as my reading. But if you're interested in what's going on in my real life, we went for a lovely, socially distanced walk today, and we saved somebody's dog. So basically what happened was there was this little cute, gorgeous, elderly terrier just kind of walking around in the streets, and we were like, where's his owner? Because he had a collar on, he looked like healthy and everything and pretty happy. He was like sniffing around, wandering around, examining everything around him. And we saw this lady and we thought maybe she was his owner, but no, she said she wasn't. So we kind of tried to lure him to us. His little name tag said Sid, and I just thought it was such a cute name for that dog. Because I was trying to get footage of him just in case we had to post it on like a missing pets Facebook or something. But luckily he had like his address and details of the owners on his collar, so we were able to like knock on their door because they weren't too far from where we were, and they hadn't even realised that he'd gone missing, bless him. He just like snuck out of the garden like a few minutes before, and he was really close to his house. He was just a few streets over, but luckily he didn't wander much further, bless him, or get lost. So that was my good deed done for the day. That was lovely. But that's what passes as really eventful in lockdown, you know? That's about as eventful as it gets from the past, like, 3 months of just being stuck inside. So I feel like I did my good deed for the day. Good morning. So I finally got up early enough to vlog in the morning, and this is like day 27 of this vlog. I don't know. And the reason is that I have a parcel. Let's try not to reveal my address to the world. Alright, what a pretty book. Upright Women Wanted by Gailey. Ooh, it's nice. Hardcover. What does it look like under the dust jacket? Ooh, pretty light blue, and it's got a etching bird or a spaceship in it? I assume a bird would make more sense. Fight the state. Be a librarian. I love it. Oh, I've only just noticed. Look at the illustrations along the bottom there. I always just assumed that was a pattern, but if you look at it more closely, there's like 3 women, a horse, some cacti. That's so cool. I'm so excited! And I was holding it upside down, of course. If you want to see me read this, that's going to be in my next video. What's this? The future has caught up with us. This is future Siobhan, but no longer. She is present Siobhan. What do I have to say at the end of this vlog? I didn't read very much, but I hope nonetheless it was an entertaining experience for you, just to follow my life, my struggles, my attempts to read, and my failures. But also, I rescued a dog. I just think that's entertaining content. I'm sorry. Let me know what you thought, though, seriously, about this format. If you enjoyed watching it, if you'd rather I just stuck to talking about books to a camera, I'm cool with that too. I've got a few videos ideas coming up. As I mentioned, I want to do 7 books in 7 days. Ambitious, considering how little I read in this entire vlog, which was more than 7 days. But I think I can do it. I just need to pick really short books. I am now picturing an intervention from future Siobhan, telling me that I'm an idiot. But I've got a really cool idea of how to pick those 7 books that I'm going to read. And again, I want to pick some more diverse picks for that, and they need to be short. But I also have quite a creative idea as to how I'm going to pick my TBR that I'm really excited about. I am still going to read your recommendations as well. Don't you worry, they are in the back of my mind. They are on my bookshelves for those of you who have physically given me books to read. Thank you so much, you are angels. I will get around to them, but I feel like that video may be a bit further away than I initially thought. We'll see. I might pepper some of them into my 7 books in 7 days. You'll just have to stay tuned to find out. Bye.